This lens is worth about £10,000, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you why lenses matter more than your camera does. Most people think, and the internet has led us to believe, that having the most up-to-date, high-resolution, expensive camera body is the thing that is going to give us the best image quality. This is completely wrong. So the reason why the lens is so important is because it's the medium that the light travels through to get to the sensor. You could have a super high quality 8K cinema camera and a really bad lens on the front, and because of that lens, the light is going to be distorted in a way where it's giving the sensor a bad image to process. So what are the lenses I'm using today? They're called the Atlas Orion Anamorphic, and for a set of 3, they go for about £30,000. So, what's so special about them? Okay, so what makes these lenses so special is the fact that they're anamorphic lenses. They're 2 times anamorphic lenses. And what does that mean? Well, what these lenses do is they take the image and they squeeze it onto the sensor. So straight out of camera, you're left with something that looks a bit weird and a bit odd, this squeezed image. So you have to de-squeeze it in post. Now, what this enables, let's say I'm shooting at 100mm, which is what this lens is, I get the depth of field of 100mm, but the field of view of a 50mm. So because these are 2 times squeeze factor, it means that I'm basically halving the focal length. And you get this really beautiful, soft bokeh, and you get the depth of field of this nice long lens, but the field of view of a 50. It's really beautiful. I was shooting with these lenses yesterday and I forgot how amazing they looked, so I wanted to make this review on them. I also wanted to explain to you guys how important the lens is compared to the camera body, and I think often people forget that. Okay, so just editing this video back, I realised I forgot to talk about what camera I'm using, which is a pretty important part. So I'm actually using a Blackmagic Pocket 6K, which I bought secondhand on eBay. This was, I think, about £1,000, maybe a bit less. So considering the Canons and Sonys, the mirrorless cameras that you buy now are kind of £4,500. This is a really, really good price for what it does. It's 6K, shoots in RAW, and obviously the cameras that are upper level are kind of the red Komodos, which are kind of, you know, £5,000, £6,000, £7,000, £8,000 plus. So this is a really reasonably priced camera considering everything that it can do. Anyway, back to the video. Okay, so now for the comparison test. I'm filming at the moment on the 40mm, which is technically a 20 once you've de-squeezed it. And this is the Canon 16-35 f2.8 EF mount lens. Okay, so this is the equivalent of roughly 40mm on the 16-35 Canon EF. So the same kind of depth of field, but of course the frame is a lot more closed in. So, I mean, it's entirely down to the cinematographer, but I think I know where my heart lies. Are there any downsides to this lens? In terms of image quality, none at all. I love the fact that it's very soft, it's cinematic, you've got amazing light flares. Now these things are very heavy, and often I'm a run and gun cinematographer, so I'm not always working with a large team, and so I'm often carrying stuff around on my back, trekking it across London, and so these guys, they're pretty heavy. For a set of 3, so this is 65, this is 100, I'm shooting with the 40, they're about £30,000, I think, more or less. For, you know, everyone, including myself, that's not something that you can easily just fork out. These are rented, I don't own these. I think most people for shoots especially would just rent them, but yeah, they're not cheap. These are amazing lenses. If you're a cinematographer out there, I would highly recommend you get your hands on these to try them. And I hope you really enjoyed this video. Just bear in mind, whether you shoot on lenses like this in the future or not, it's so important to shoot with a good quality lens as opposed to the latest up-to-date camera body. lenses are what make the picture quality stand out.